We're here with Dr. Jack Rose from our college education, serves in a role as Professor of Educational Administration. Dr. Rose, last week we were in Fayette County and caught up with a superstar in Kentucky, and I know someone you're proud of, Tom Shelton.
Right. Dr. Shelton was a student of mine in the school superintendent's program at Murray State University just a few years ago, and he is certainly a superstar.
Well, he kind of came about his getting into educational administration in a different path, and I know you and the College of Education had a hand in helping him get to where he is today.
Exactly. During the time I was dean, I served on the Education Professional Standards Board. At that time, we recognized that there was a need to have an avenue for folks who might not have entered the education field the traditional way, you know, of being a teacher and so forth. We passed a program called the Alternative Certification for certain areas in the field of education, including school administration. And I was visiting Tom's superintendent in Davis County a few years ago, Stu Silberman, who's also an all-star in Kentucky. Yeah. And Stu and I were talking, and he just mentioned what a shame it was that folks like Tom Shelton, I didn't know Tom at the time, could not be a superintendent. So I just asked him, you know, what's the problem? And he said, well, his undergraduate was in business and he did not have the traditional education background. So Stu and I talked about the alternative cert program, and I guess from there it's history, right? Because he was very supportive of Tom Shelton. Tom took all of his classes with me in the superintendent's program, and I'm so proud of Tom, and I'm proud of what Stu did to help bring him along also. But Tom is certainly an all-star in Kentucky, but he's also an all-star nationally. So he brings the name of Murray State to a lot of places, or he carries it to a lot of places. He has an undergraduate bachelor's degree here in accounting. He has a master's in MBA, right, business administration. And then he has the superintendent's program with us and other school admin courses after that. So he fills the bill for whatever you're looking for.
I remember very well one of the first times I met with him, Dr. Rose, talking about his background and how it fits, and you know this very well as being a school superintendent. I mean, you're running a small, or some cases when he's in Fayette County, running a large business. So that kind of business acumen and the skills he had really plays well to the demands of being a superintendent today.
Absolutely. I think over the last several years, Jim, I think we've come to realize that the leadership skills which are needed to run a corporation, many times we're talking about business and so forth, are basically the same leadership skills that we need for education, whether it be school superintendents, principals of buildings, university presidents, any of those very important roles. And if I was serving on a corporate board and Tom Shelton's name came up as a potential candidate, he'd be it in my book because he has the capacity. And one of the things that we try to emphasize in the superintendent's program is to think outside the box, not to do crazy things. But Tom doesn't do crazy things, but he can think outside the box, and he's always thinking about what will improve education for the students in his district. So he's very, very competent. He's extremely bright. He's hardworking, and he's very personable. He can communicate with anyone. He can talk to folks on the street. He can talk to boards. And of course, like I said, has made a mark nationally as well as throughout the state.
And he's a young guy, and he's not done yet. So we know there's many more opportunities for him to make himself proud as well as Murray State University.
Absolutely. He has a long way to go, and he'll do it well.
Well, thanks for coming and talking about one of our shining stars, Tom Shelton. Thank you for being with us today, Dr. Rose.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.